Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Well, this evening, who do we have here? It is a pleasure to announce that I am collaborating again with Jen Bushman. I was previously on your channel, so and now I've returned the compliment after, sadly, uh, due to a blunder on my part, we were supposed to do a live, and I was I was with a client doing a deep kind of like thing, and it totally slipped my mind. But it's so nice that you've forgiven me and that you've come back on my show. So what's going on with you, Jen? I understand that you've got a new website, and you mentioned that you're going to be on a certain channel called Next Level Soul. So tell us a little bit about your website and then tell us about Next Level Soul. Oh,
Yeah. Well, it's been quite an undertaking. I've been working redoing the website for about the last week. But I have a rock shop and I do readings for people. I do starseed readings and crystal readings and spirit guide readings. I do all kinds of coaching and I coach kids who have psychic abilities. So it's a list of my services, but also the rock shop. I've got about 2,000 items in the shop. So I'm redoing all the pages and I'll be doing a relaunch here. But yeah, on Saturday, I'm on with Jeff Mara, the Jeff Mara podcast. And then on Tuesday, I'm on Next Level Soul with Alex. So
remarkable. Now, I'm a big. I must confess, I'm not familiar with the first person that you've just mentioned, but I do know Alex Ferrari from Next Level. So I'm a big fan of his podcast. How did that come about? Because he talks to a lot of people who have near death near-death experiences, but psychics, not so many astrologers that I've seen, but psychics and stuff like that. How did that collaboration happen? Because that's quite a big deal. That's a big show.
yeah, well, actually, Jenny Baez in our community recommended me to him, and that's how I hooked up with him. But I've had an NDE. That's how I met Pink, my spirit guide. And then when I was 22, I met my spirit guide, Courtney. I've been fortunate enough to have met these people as, humans. They looked like humans to me. So, yeah, I kind of have, I guess, what the prerequisite of an NDE, but he talks about all kinds of spiritual topics. Like I'm really into soul contracts. I'm really into dimensional work. I get downloads from my guide, Courtney, about the dimensions. And, so there's all kinds of things that we're going to
fascinating. Yeah. Well, put in a little word for maybe perhaps a Vedic astrologer who's got a bit of a twist on things. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's a good show, and I really hope that it goes well. And I'll definitely be checking you out and stuff. So just so you know, folks, people are joining in. So Jen and I were going to do some current events and stuff. We got some questions. So we're going to be talking about Haiti, what's going on with Boeing. We're going to be talking, of course, a bit about Catherine. How can we not? And we're going to be talking about Fulton County and a bit about TikTok as well, if we have time. So how is it that you would like to respond to the questions, Jen? Do you just do you ask your guides, or do you just intuitively respond, or are you going to be pulling some tarot like me?
I do all kinds of things. Pink and Courtney are right here. I have the gift of seeing them, and they chime in. But I love tarot, so I use a variety of tools, Hogarth.
Wonderful. Well, in that case, let's begin then with the first question. So for those who may or may not know, this is only something that's recently come to my attention, guys. So this is almost like a cold read for me. But there is a crisis at the moment unfolding in Haiti. So, so basically, the Haitian PM, a man called Ariel Henry, has just resigned after mass protests. But they're actually saying that Haiti as a country is now completely overrun by gangs. And it's been said that actually some of these gangs went into some of the prisons and let everybody out. So there is, it just seems, poor Haiti seems to just lurch from one mega crisis to another. So I wanted to ask, what are the possible solutions for Haiti? What hits you get, your tarot, and perhaps as well from your guides as well?
Yeah, a lot of anger, frustration, oppression. Yeah, it's going to be a multi-layered answer, right, Hogarth?
Yeah. I wouldn't expect anything less from you, Jen.
Yeah.
They just can't seem to catch a break. They had that dreadful earthquake, which, what was it, a few years ago, which just basically ruined half of what was left. And it just seems to have been just downhill ever since.
Wow. These are not good looking cards here.
So as you're my guest, what do you have? You'll be going first.
Well, let's see. The King of Swords is a signifier. So this is about effectively communicating, right? Coming out, and they're rising up. I'm not really aware of what's been going on in Tahiti, but what I'm getting from my guides is that—
Sorry, Haiti.
Excuse me, Haiti. They're very frustrated. I see gangs and gangs of young people, lots of oppression there's no organization, there's no meeting the needs of folks. So they're very angry and rising up. They're just acting out. It's like nothing is planned. You talked about that they released some prisoners.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah, some gangs have gone in and actually released prisoners from jail. So imagine, I mean,
yeah, just anger. They're marinating in the wheel as far as a solution, because I asked, what is the solution? It's going to take someone who is an excellent communicator, the Queen of Pentacles, who is a very skilled, organizing, strong being, can put down the law, the strong arm of, like, not the law, Hogarth, but like rules. Like if there's some sort of
framework
follow. Yeah, there's just nothing. They're craving something. They're craving leadership and guidance. Folks are hungry, frustrated. They've gone through so much pain. You feel their pain. Yeah. You talked about the earthquake.
Yeah. And someone here in the comments, Tony Stokes here, thank you so much for your comment. Tony says Haiti is an extremely poor country that has had a number of natural disasters. The major earthquake was in 2010. So you can imagine, I mean, that was quite a long time ago now, but they say really it hasn't really recovered much since then. And then Tony's also saying Haiti has always had political struggles as well. What else there in the comments? So someone else, K Muldoon, saying, yeah, for decades they were ruled by a horrific dictator as well. So my goodness. All right, well, sorry, do you have any more cards to add to that, Jen, or was that your response? I want to check. Okay.
That's my response, sir. It's just going to take a lot of that groundedness, that earth energy of compassion. It just, their energy just needs to be flooded with love. You know,
Yeah.
I feel they just feel so unloved.
Mm.
Everyone. It's just like in the, you know how you talked about the consciousness last time of when we met, you know, the consciousness of a culture or where you grow
Mm.
up, or it's that it's
Mm.
in the energy, like in the frequency of where they live. It's just this heartbreak is what
Yeah.
so anyway.
Absolutely. I could well imagine. So if we look here, I have got just in many ways to symbolize what the reading is about. And look at that. We've got the 10 of Wands, which we understand is the card of burden and excessive hard work, struggles, grafting. So this, I think, is really just describing how Haitians feel just right now. Overburdened, overworked, if the card had turned up reverse, that could actually even mean like literally kind of like giving up. But here we'll also see as well, there's gross inefficiencies too in the country, probably most likely down to, you know, also corruption, lack of infrastructure, investment, plus the natural disasters coming in, destroying what was left of the infrastructure. But with this card as well, it said that the ones are inefficiently carried. So there is, it's almost like what one of the big issues as well for Haiti is this inefficiency, or just things not being bundled up neatly. Because we can imagine if the carrier was able to bundle up the sticks and put them on his shoulder, then it will be easier for him to see the direction in which he needs to go. So this is talking about, I think we're talking about rudimentary elements of government here that need to be in place to actually work. If we see in the 5 card spread, my opposition card is the smug merchant. Now, this is normally a card of wish fulfillment and satisfaction and stuff like that. But obviously, it's turning up in the obstacle position, so we can consider it reversed. So, of course, I think this is talking about the people. Immense dissatisfaction, unhappiness, their dreams, even the most basic dreams and stuff, not being fulfilled, not being taken care of, like you said, a sense of desolation and destitution amongst the people. If we look here in the middle of the middle card, which all the other cards are hanging off, we've got the 2 of Swords here. Indecision, not knowing what to do. What is the best way to go forward? Also, as well, we can see here as well the blindfold here. So in a way, one could also, this could also be the prime minister that has just resigned, maybe out of exasperation, not knowing what to do. Allegedly, some of the countries of the African nations wanted to come in and help as well. But once everyone was let out of the prisons, they were going to send like army and stuff. You know, they don't know what to do about this. And I think this is also the world, political leaders not knowing what to do with Haiti. In a sense, it's almost like it's been so played around with, and so, you know, it's like it's just this hot mess at the moment. No one's not sure what to do. What it does need, it needs some investment, it needs infrastructure, it needs some proper money putting behind it. Here, of course, we got the King of Pentacles. So again, this is about legacies, this is about infrastructure, this is about stability, this is also about leadership as well. So strong, stable leadership, obviously people with deep pockets and stuff that are prepared to invest in the country, genuinely invest. And if they do, it will be a tremendous amount of hard work, but there could be vast rewards as well. I think it's just that the international community or any future leaders really need to actually take Haiti seriously and look at its potential, rather than just seeing it as a basket case or where a land of ne'er-do-wells. Every country has potential. It's just that it's going to take some work. So if they find the right leadership, they can turn it around. Anything to add to that, Jen? Well, you did.
You did beautifully, Hogarth. I can listen to you forever.
Thank you.
Like everybody else out there.
Thanks so much. That's very kind of you. All right, let's look then at Boeing. Yeah, let's
Okay.
look at Boeing. Now, again, a new story to me. So the question here is like, what's going on at Boeing? And then it's cover up, question mark. And then I'll read a little bit more. So are you aware, Jen, that in the recent months, there's been huge issues with Boeing airplanes? You know, middle section doors blowing out mid-flight.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought when that happened, all the air was sucked out of the cabin and everyone died from whatever, but I don't know, maybe not. Maybe the plane didn't get high enough, but things like that. You know, hydraulic fuel being wasted, like it was leaking. So then one plane had to turn back and had to dump a whole lot of fuel because you can't land a plane on full fuel. It could burst into flames. There's I think 50 people were severely injured recently where the plane suddenly dropped like that and people hit their heads on the ceiling and on the overhead storage luggage. There was that, and then there was a whistleblower who spoke in court. I think it was, well, very recently, and he was found shot dead in his car yesterday.
Oh,
right. So this is quite, and I've put here as a note, Pluto in Capricorn, yeah, corporate corruption and all this stuff. So my question is what is going on at Boeing?
Ooh, Boeing.
What's going on?
Their company is struggling with finding skilled work, finding they're not making enough money. They're not meeting certain caps.
Wow.
So they're cutting corners. They're not hiring the skilled folks that they need. It's like it's once again a multi-layered situation. Pink is showing me. So not enough skilled labor. They're not making enough money to finance what they need. So they're cutting corners. And they've cut down, I see, on like their safety. You know, the managers that run around, the safety experts that are skilled, that have worked there forever. A lot of them have left, I see, because they're frustrated. So Hogarth, it's like they're not able to do their checks and balances. That the new folks that are coming in don't really have the depth and breadth of the job. So it's like layers of quality just, you know, Pink is showing me it's just dissipating. So yes, and he died. He didn't do that to himself.
No, he didn't. Wow. So yeah, just to give you this is again reference to Haiti, but I thought worth mentioning, just coming in from Debbie K. So she's saying ever since the French left the island and bankrupted the country for their independence. Yes, actually, yeah, I remember that. There's quite a lot of the legacy of there, and it's going back to Boeing and what Pink was sharing with you. One of the things I remember now reading on the article about Boeing, they said when they were doing checks, many loose bolts and certain things, you know, wing nuts not being properly tightened and all of this stuff. So that would step right into what you were saying there, Jen, about maybe not those seasoned, experienced eyes that would know these things, you know, obviously probably cutting corners. My cards here are quite interesting, and Echo your insight. So if we look here, first card I get symbolizing the reading, look at this. Six of Pentacles. So straight away, we know there is a money flow issue going on here. Why would that suggest that? As we can see here we have the wealthy merchant down here who is, you know, he's benevolent. He has enough money to give. But look at the people begging down here. What this suggests to me is that senior management at Boeing have been cutting corners. It may be in the interest of profits, of course, which is always the thing, because you can imagine if you've worked at Boeing for, you know, 10, 15, 20 years, you're very seasoned, very senior, you know, you've probably got, you know, generous, you know, wages and pension package and all of this stuff, but you're really, really good at your job, but you're quite expensive. And as we know, because there's this absolute categorical obsession with profit at any cost, what do? They start coming in and they start gutting those people out. But the thing is, you have to invest. Like planes have to be safe. You know, when something goes wrong with a plane and you're at 10,000 feet over the Atlantic, that's an issue. Yeah. Like, that's a problem. If your planes start crashing and the doors start flying off, guess what? Everyone goes, do you know what? I don't think I want to fly in a Boeing 747 anymore. I might have to pay over the odds for something else, but I would like to arrive, in one piece.
Yes. Inside the airplane.
Exactly. So it's a false economy. Them cutting back is really not helping at all. If we look here in the obstacle position, we've got the Fool card here, which is normally a positive card, a leap of faith. The universe has got your back, but we can consider it reversed. So that means that there's been foolishness, literal foolishness in the decision making, in those who decide budgets, probably to foolishly cut back on budgets, try and run it on a shoestring with those that have neither the experience or the skill to be able to correct obvious problems. If we look here in the middle of it, we've got the Page of Pentacles. So again, this is talking about money again. Now, unlike with Haiti, who got the King of Pentacles, you know, obviously that's talking about big money. Here, this is, I would think this is suggesting is, yes, dwindling finances. I understand, I think a little while back, there was an error where not enough Boeings were ordered or they were late, something like that. And I think another company got in. It's a very competitive world, as you can imagine. The margins are small. If you miss certain orders, then you're going to have less revenue. Yeah. So here, this also as well could be potentially things to do with profit warnings or messages around the financing of Boeing. If we look here, the management is probably thinking, what can we do? We need to be a bit more enterprising. We've got the King of Wands here. So this is very much a card I associate with enterprise, getting things done and stuff like that. So they might need new management to come in. However, the next card they get is the Eight of Wands, but in reverse. And this can literally denote stagnation of business. And isn't it funny? Because these ones are flying through the air and they're associated with what? Aviation as well. So quite literally, the business is not doing well. And the more that there are stories of doors flying off or this or that not happening, maybe you come to land and the wheels don't come down. You know, might be a problem. You know, look what happened with Concorde. You know, it only took a couple of crashes and it was over.
It was done. Yeah.
You know, September the 11th also played a factor, but you know what I mean? So safety is key. So it looks like they're in financial struggles here and they're going to have to fix themselves up pretty sharpish. Anything else you'd like to add to that, Jen?
No, you did wonderfully. Thank you.
Thank you. No problem. All right. So question number 3. Now, Jen, have you been following any of this, or have you tried to stay out of the Princess Catherine Ferrari about where she is, etc.? Confess. Have you been involved, or have you been like,
Oh my gosh, I'm on the edge of my seat. Well, you guys are like in an uproar over there. I mean, you're into it, or your folks. Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
it like for us in Britain, what's happening with the scenario with Kate is utterly astonishing. This kind of thing that's going on right now would have been inconceivable if Queen Elizabeth II was alive.
Right.
It would not have happened.
Yes. I mean, she's very upset about it.
I could well imagine that she would be from the other side. I'm sure she is livid at what is going on. Because what's happened is one of the things that the royal family has been good at for a very long time, especially under the Queen's tenure, is managing stories, managing expectation, managing scandal. Now, if you can imagine, like I've done the Queen's chart. She's got an incredible chart. She really is the last of her kind. So just so you know, folks, Queen Elizabeth II was the last of the great queens ever. That's it. After, you know, it's probably going to be hundreds, if not thousands of years, or a new era. We may not, well, we probably won't even have kings and queens at that point. But anyway, she's the last. And what has happened is this unraveling, because first of all, there is the mystery of what's happened to Kate. Now, we understand she's had abdominal surgery, and I think they're absolutely right. Yes, she should be left alone and all of this kind of stuff. Very important. However, one of the things the Queen said herself, she said, I need to be seen to be believed. Now, if it were just like the odd little picture here, even if it was just Kate waving at a window or just like a mugshot, you know, once every 3 weeks, you know, it would have shut everyone up. The speculation has been rife because everyone knows there's a lot more going on. But for them to then put out a chimera picture, which is a jigsaw puzzle of different photos, all cobbled together with the seams showing, and then passing it off as an official photograph to international photography agencies, who then basically called BS on the whole thing and issued a kill notice on the photograph. That has never happened before for a royal photo. So this has fueled the conspiracy theories even more, because everyone is like, where is she? They said she was in the car with her mother driving, and I did this on my own show. This picture wasn't shown in the UK, but it's shown around the rest of the world. The second I saw the picture, I was like, I know why this picture's not been shown, because it's not Kate. It looks like her sister, Pippa, is in the car.
Right.
They've got other things, these bot shots where they've got another Photoshop thing, and they were like, Kate was seen today, and it's William, and then you see a shadowy version of Kate looking out the window. You can see the scenery behind her where there's this brick wall, but the bricks above the car don't even match.
Yeah. It's just some seriously badly photoshopping going on. So what do you think's up with her, Hogarth? What is the buzz in the UK?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. This is what I think, and this is where I'm going to bring in a little bit of astrology into this one. Oh, we got 400 with us, 400 people with us right now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Really appreciate it. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Catherine thing. We've done some questions before. There'll be some more after. What do I think? First of all, I think Catherine is having a dark night of the soul moment. Big time. Big time. I've done her astrological charts. I've done William, and by extension, Harry as well. I was planning to do Diana, but she's going to have to come later on. So she's in a very difficult time in her life. She's also in her Uranus halfway point. So what does that mean? So everyone, Uranus takes 84 years to go around the zodiac, his orbit around the sun. So what it means is everyone on planet Earth, when they're around about from 40, 41, 42, we enter our Uranus opposition. And it's a famously tricky time, because this is also when the Kundalini in the body can actually start rising. People can start having Kundalini awakenings. I had, thankfully I'm the other side of it now, but I was having a lot of issues with electrical equipment, my internet. People were even having I've even heard people having cracked teeth. Some of my teeth cracked during my Uranus opposition.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, because what is that Uranus, I was reading this brilliant astrology book, I forgot what it's called now, but it talks about Uranus and Kundalini, how it causes this awakening and how the energy starts to move up through the heart chakra. But if we are blocked and if we're suppressed in that energy, it can be disastrous, and it can cause major health problems with relationships and marriage. And of course, Kate is slap bang right in that right now. So there's that. One thing I also wanted to say as well, just about her astrology, she's a Cancer rising, but her sun sign is Sagittarius. Now, we all know what Sagittarius is about. It's about freedom, adventure, travel, optimism, spirituality, and righteousness. So she's obviously feeling extremely trapped. Yeah. And I think all of that suppression is doing that as well. Also as well, she's got parts in her charts that are to do with Mula Nakshatra. Now, Mula Nakshatra means to tear up by the roots. These are the star clusters, but the deity of Mula, where she's got her Neptune, is where the goddess Niriti sits. Ooh. Now, if you don't know the name Niriti, you may have heard of Durga, and you may have heard of Kali. That is the goddess of destruction. But what it means is, what is it destroying? This goddess destroys illusions. So people who have planets in Mula Nakshatra, they often go through a phase in their life where certain illusions are shattered and they can't go along with them anymore. This is where I think Kate is. And also as well, we've got the eclipses coming up on the 25th of March. We've got the lunar eclipse happening in sidereal Virgo, if I recall correctly, which is happening in Kate's third house, which all deals with communications, by the way, in the media. How funny is that? Deals with things, deals with the hands. Yeah, she's being accused of sleight of hands, but she's also got something in her chart which deals with the falsely accused. So she's being falsely accused of quite a lot of things. Some people in the media have come out today to say William has behaved ungentlemanly, and it's terrible that they've thrown Kate under the bus because they made her say, well, I doctored the pictures, it was me. And it wasn't.
No, wasn't it her secretary? It was that guy. It was the new guy. It was William. It was William. Oh.
It honestly, if he wasn't doing it himself, he certainly would have had it supervised. Because one of the things I said is this: the missing wedding ring. Yeah. If there were a female editor doing that, or if Kate was doing that, there is no way she would have edited out her own wedding ring. Only a man could overlook such a thing. Yeah. So it was either William or a male assistant. Anyway, but there's that. Yeah. Yeah.
The new guy?
Sorry?
The new private secretary that she has.
What, is that what you're getting?
Yeah. Doesn't he have dark hair? And he's younger,
yes, he
handsome. Yeah. I'm watching him do it right now. Yeah. Yes. That's who did it.
That's a scoop, everyone. You heard it here first. Jen's saying new private secretary. Wow. Okay. And just to finish off with the eclipses, so the lunar eclipse, which always deals with family as well, family, the emotions, the mind. Obviously, she's struggling with her mental health. So we're in that eclipse season now. It happens on or around the 25th of March, happening in Kate's third house, happening in William's 10th house of name, fame, and career. So we can see Lots of stuff coming out about him. The solar eclipse on April 8th, which is the other one that goes to the other side of Texas, by the way. So, you know, X marks the spot. So there was one in October that went one side of Texas. This one, 8th of April, goes the other way, right through. So this is going to talk, because it involves the sun, this is going to deal with leaders. So we're going to find out things, I think, about King Charles, Biden, Putin, Trump, Trudeau, Macron, and the like. This will be happening in William's 4th house, which deals with the family and the home.
Yeah.
But for Kate, it's happening in her 9th house, which deals with opportunity, luck, and freedom. So maybe there could be something coming where, let's just say Kate might be wanting to free herself of a situation. But let's pull some cards.
So do you think they're happy? What does the chart say about the two of them? They're not happy as a couple?
I had a funny dream. I need to dig it out, actually. I had a dream. I think it must have been 18 months to 2 years ago. And it was a little throwaway kind of like thing, but I made sure that I said it because I dreamed that Meghan and Harry were having kids and stuff. I forgot to say it, and then they got pregnant and had kids. In the dream, it was very simple. William and Kate were in a car, in a saloon. They were sitting next to each other, but they weren't talking, and they were both looking out opposite windows. Actually, now I think of the dream, I think, oh my God, it's a bit like the photos that they've been showing. And there was a bit where the car stopped and they both got out. They walked next to each other, but they weren't holding hands. There was no affection, but they walked down the road like this for the cameras and stuff like that. And I remember saying at the time, because everyone was like, oh, they're so in love. I was saying, you know what? I don't think they're happy. So is it going to be full-scale divorce? I am not sure, because if Kate leaves, just so you know, if Kate leaves, it's over. We're talking actually constitutional crisis here in the royal family, because they are the heads of state. They might be ceremonial, but they actually have a legal and government function. It will be a constitutional crisis, because effectively, you know, the heirs of the throne will be completely thrown out. We know that, you know, Harry and Meghan are, you know, been sin binned. You know what they're going to do? Bring them back after Spare, after the book? I don't think so. Charles sadly is struggling with cancer. Do you see? It could be a real problem. So
do you think Kate has cancer?
Oh, good question. What I think is that we have not been given nearly the full details of what has been going on with Kate. What I would say is this: I feel like Kate is dealing with several things. The abdominal surgery, I think, is true, because I can actually see it in her chart. She's got 3 planets in her stomach area: a Gandanta drowning Neptune, K2, which is a hole wherever it is, literally like a hole, and the sun she's got there as well in Sagittarius, and the sun is said to burn a hole in whatever house it's in except the 10th. So I said, really, she's got 2 holes in her stomach, or there could have been maybe even 3 separate operations she may have needed to have, because there's 3 planets there. Yeah. So part of it is the drowning of her in terms of her emotions with the Neptune. She's also very sensitive, and she's got psychic skills as well. The other part is the pressure she feels from the sun, which deals with what? Leadership of all kinds. The sun in her chart will be very hot, because he's a hot planet anyway, but in a fire sign, Sagittarius. And K2 is always dissatisfaction as well. Scrutiny, dissatisfaction, critique. So it shows that she has quite a lot of internal dissatisfaction with herself, but also the critique she's facing from the outside world. And because of her sensitivity, that's really affected her stomach. But I think other stuff may be going on there as well, possibly as well things to do with eating disorder and stuff like that. So I think it's several things that have all coalesced.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Shall we pull some cards to see what's the energy around Kate? What's going on with Kate?
I think she has cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting? Yeah. It really wouldn't surprise me, you know. It really
No,
wouldn't.
she's been ill for a long time. I picked that up. She hasn't
Yeah.
looked well. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
just don't think they have ever been a bonded couple, you know? I
Mm,
mean, William has always been so detached from emotion, right? I mean, he
yeah.
had to be. And then he's thrust into this role of becoming king. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Also,
they're
yeah,
just,
go on.
yeah, they're not an attached pairing. She's very sad.
Wow. Do you know what? I'll tell you something. A lot of people don't know this. Cancer ascendants, almost all of them face the same or similar thing.
Yeah.
In general, yeah, in astrology, it is considered one of the luckier ascendants, and it is very lucky, the sign of Cancer. However, if you are a Cancer rising, and we're talking, of course, serial Vedic astrology here, you know, which is the accurate placement. If you are a Cancer rising, what it means is Saturn is the ruler of your seventh house and your eighth house. For Leos, it is the sixth and the seventh house. But anyway, the point is this. The seventh house deals with relationships. It's anyone that's not us. Saturn and the moon are not friends. Where Cancer rising people almost always get it in the neck is in their relationships, which tend to be very karmic, heavy, and very often sometimes joyless or loveless. Because effectively, the ruler, the lord of the seventh house, will represent the type of partner you get in life. And if you're Cancerian, it means the seventh house is ruled by Saturn via Capricorn, which the shadow of which can be a cold, detached spouse who is just obsessed with duty, protocol, or can be very dry or unfeeling. That's the cold side. I mean, that's the dark side. Also, if you are a Cancer rising person, you should never wear sapphires. Why? Because sapphire is the stone of Saturn.
Yeah, the blue sapphire and amethyst are the stones.
Right. Blue sapphire, amethyst, they're stones of Saturn. Saturn and the moon are not friends.
Right.
So what they say is if you wear a blue sapphire, you need to be very
Yeah.
bold
Or
because
wear pearl.
right. Yeah, because it can mean that all of your karmas can mature at once. If you're Taurus ascendant or Libra ascendant, I would say you can get away with a sapphire because he's the yoga kaka. He's a very powerful planet for them. If you're Cancer ascendant like Kate, you shouldn't wear sapphire. And she's been wearing what? That ring
Yeah,
of
from
Diana.
her mother-in-law, right? Doesn't she have her ring? Yeah,
Yes,
Diana's ring.
yeah, that was Diana's ring. One has to also be very careful about wearing other people's jewelry. But for Kate, for her to wear Diana's ring and for it to also be a sapphire was never going to bring her any joy, unfortunately. So for me, it's not a surprise that she's not wearing that ring anymore. And in fact, in a previous video, I said, take it off. So there's that too. Right, let's see the energy.
Good point.
What cards do you have? Sorry, you probably pulled
Oh, I
already.
didn't throw any. I was
Okay.
just listening.
But you think Cancer, Kate might have Cancer. Wow. Okay. Heard it here first, guys. Well, maybe not first. I'm sure other people have reached a similar conclusion, perhaps, but that's what you're getting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see, Kate. What's the energy around Kate? I really hope she makes it. She's having a dreadful time right now. Just dreadful. Bless her.
Yeah, she's got the hermit.
I get the feeling when I tune in with her energy, I just feel like she feels claustrophobic, choked, trapped, hemmed in. When you think of that Sagittarius energy that she has as well, you know, they have to be free. Sagittarius has to be free. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah, because I got the Hermit as a signifier, you know, isolated. Well, going within. She is doing a lot of evaluation, but seriously, it's more about kids. What am I doing? Why am I here? What is this all about? Where am I going? Yeah, and she's got the 5 in her future, just out in the cold, feeling separate, distant, needing help. Yes, and seeking church, seeking spirit, seeking some sort of, higher refuge. She's really evaluating, guys. I think it's sad, actually.
wow. Yeah, it's really sad. You know, a hit that I got earlier on before the show, and I hope I've remembered to say it. Let's see here. My instinct is now the Spanish press have been saying a lot very early on, weeks ago, and they were poo-pooed as conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I'm starting to think they've got much more of a point. They said when Catherine, before the surgery even happened, they said that she was already unconscious, allegedly.
Mm.
And I got this hit, I think it was yesterday, and maybe this might even be very relevant to you as well, but I have the feeling that she's had a near-death experience. I really do. I really do. And you were mentioning, and you were mentioning cancer. She was staying at a place called the London Clinic, where she was hardly seen by anyone, not even her kids. And apparently this clinic is a specialist in certain types of cancers. So I think you might be onto something, Jen.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my cards? They're a bit, okay. All right, here we go. Kate's cards. Look, we have got here, what's this? 8 of Cups, says it all. Walking away. She wants to leave. She wants to leave.
Yeah.
I think she has absolutely reached her limit. And I think this is her literally saying she wants to walk away from the royal family. And apparently there's already reports saying that this is how she feels. But look at the next card, the obstacle card.
Ooh, yeah. Right.
And isn't it funny, because I turn over the cards and then I stop looking at them, and I think she's had a near-death experience, or she's facing that prospect, this dark night of the soul. And I think what it's done is put everything into perspective, guys. Because if we remember with the death card here, look, here's the wife with the child pleading, or cowering, and here you have the Pope here. Actually, I need to be careful, actually, because sometimes certain cards get things demonetized. But anyway, no, really. And then the horse is being trampled. The king is being trampled underneath. So no, honestly, now I have to start covering the boobies and stuff like that, because it's demonetized. So I think Kate has had, or is having, or going through this near-death experience, which is giving her a whole perspective, new perspective on things. And I think she's asking herself, is it worth it? To be in this controlling, and what I suspect rather cool or cold, loveless marriage, because she's an ascendant. It's her first marriage as well. For Cancer ascendants, rarely the first marriage goes well. They tend to get better as they go along. This is the first. And if we look here, the next card, just to keep on with the reading, look, she gets the Strength card. So this is Kate literally having to go within, going within. And I think she's finding her strength, and I think she wants to fight. And cards that I got for her in my most recent video, she wanted to fight for her family as well. So I think this is also about the kids, like you were picking up. Look here, she actually gets the 3 of Cups. So look, there's an element here of celebration at some point. Could this be a victory for her? We may not necessarily get to know what that victory is, but I'm hoping that this is some recovery, celebration. She gets through it. However, Page of Cups, which I refer to as Stinky Fish. I think she might have an unpleasant message for either William or maybe for the world. So I think these eclipses, lunar eclipse coming up on the 25th, is ripe for this type of thing. I think there might be some kind of announcement from Kate, or an announcement from the palace about Kate, because they can't keep on going on like this. Anything to add to that, Jen, before we move on?
Yeah, I think we explored it all.
Brilliant. And also as well, I put here a note here. I'll put here, I didn't approve of Harry's book. I know he needed to get stuff off his chest, but it's done so much damage. It's done so much.
Created so much chaos that didn't need to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, or did it, Hogarth? I mean, I'm not, I don't live.
I mean, it was a bombshell. It was a nuclear bomb, that book, basically. Or let's say not nuclear bomb. Kryptonite would be another one. It did a lot of damage. And I remember a while ago when the book came out, we were doing a Hogarth, and we were talking about the book, and we got chewed out in the comments. We got cussed out in the comments because everyone was like, "You leave Harry alone," and blah blah blah, and Meghan blah blah. Now, don't get me wrong, Meghan was treated terribly.
Yeah.
She was treated terribly.
Yeah, and she was
one of the things. Really treated badly. She really was hounded, and now Kate's getting her kind of whatever's in a different kind of way.
Right. Yeah.
But one of the things I said was, and I still believe this to be true, I said one day Harry will come to regret writing that book, because weird things happen in royal families, and very often the person who's supposed to be king or queen often doesn't end up being that person. We've seen it time and time again. Queen Elizabeth I wasn't supposed to be queen. Yeah, the only reason why she was queen was that her younger brother died. This is King Henry VIII we're talking about. He died. Her sister, Queen of Scots, became queen. She kind of had to get rid of her. Then she became queen. Queen Victoria wasn't supposed to be queen. Someone else died. Well, I think it was one of her uncles or whatever. She ended up becoming queen. And then, of course, with Queen Elizabeth II, her uncle abdicated. Then it went to her father, and then she became queen. So the history often intervenes. Harry would not have been anticipating that his father would be ill with cancer, and that there's all this stuff now going on. This is serious. So anyway.
Yes.
Let's talk about Georgia, the Georgia RICO case. I think we've just got enough time.
Okay.
So here I've written down, and I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Thank you so much as well for your comments. Please don't forget as well to like and subscribe to support the channel. And of course, if you'd like to subscribe to Jen's channel as well, she is in the video description below. Whoever I collaborate with, they're always in the comments, and give her some big support as well when she goes on Next Level Soul as well. Great show. If you've not checked out this podcast, have a look. Brilliant people on there. All right. So what's this? Georgia RICO case, Fulton Court Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee has dismissed some of the charges in the case, 3 of which he's dismissed that were against Trump, or Duck L'Orange, as you know I like to call him. Wow, over 600 of you here right now. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. So the question is, what's the energy around the case? And will Trump face any charges before the election in November?
It's not going to go to trial. And it's actually good, you guys. It's good because it's paring down. The judge, okay, so what I'm seeing is the judge is saying, rewrite. He left a door open. I see a door. It's not saying that I'm dismissing these charges. Please go back and rewrite. I'm leaving the door open for you. This will streamline it. It's actually a good thing so that they will get a conviction. Remember, there's like 19 defendants.
19, yeah. Yeah.
So that's a lot of lawyers, a lot of charges, a lot of documents, right? This is actually a good thing I'm seeing. Don't be despair, don't just be dismayed or despair. This is really good because it will ensure a conviction, a more streamlined conviction that won't be overturned on appeal. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wow. So I'm tuning in with the Saturnian energy, and he's just saying less is more.
Yes. Thank you, Hogarth. Yes. I mean, I know Fonnie, she's upset, but she's going to come around after she takes a deep breath, and she's not going to be kicked off the case, you guys. It's excellent. No, it's fine. So yeah, she'll come around. She's very upset right now with her energy. She's kind of fuming, actually. But once she has some conversations with her team, and they really evaluate, okay, what did we write in these briefs? What was our use of the law? That's what I'm seeing, their defense. I'm seeing the actual documents that they wrote, and they didn't have enough examples, enough, not necessarily evidence, but the use of the law, says Pink, use of the law. So when they take a deep breath, things kind of calm down. She'll be okay. I love her. I love her energy. I mean, I'm one of her biggest fans. I love her. Anyway, so
wow. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I'll read. Did you want to read some? Or you good?
I'm good. Yeah, because see, Rob says, right on, Jen, exactly. RICO judge is appeal proofing the case. That's what I see. I see the judge is like, let's make this appeal proof. He is very, he's being extraordinarily careful, you guys. He's being extraordinarily careful how he tries this case. One, it's the ex-president of the United States, right? And this is going to change things for our country, But also there's many factors. He's being extraordinarily careful.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'll share my cards. Okay. So here we are. So we've got the Page of Wands here. So again, fiery messages. This is the orator. Maybe this is the actual, the judge. Actually, obviously, we see there is actually judge-like cards here. It's not the most mature card, but this, of course, is about fiery speech, oration, messages, and stuff like that. So I think this is a bit of the fiery speech coming from the judge, maybe to burn off the dross, as it were, with the Page of Wands. Yes, there is an element here of juggling. Here, of course, this can talk about money and finances, but this can also literally talk about juggling a situation, trying to find the balance on the stormy seas behind. So even though this is turned up in the obstacle position, but I think like Jen's saying, maybe the judge is actually doing the case a favor here. This is a kind of like a jig, a rebalancing. Here in the middle, we literally see the judge, and the case. Here we have the Hierophant. So again, this is talking about traditions, righteousness, spirituality as well, but this can be like the ultimate judge of judges. This also talks about protocol and tradition. So here, this is, I think, again, Judge McAfee speaking up in terms of his role as a superior judge to try and bring clarity, maybe some refinement to this case. This looks like Fani Willis, Queen of Wands. So yes, she's very passionate. She might be fuming as well. But after a while, I think she's going to use her intuition. Never forget the black cat here. Shows that this is also a woman of intuition. So after she's calmed down, because obviously she has a lot of fiery passion, in more ways than one. Yeah. Once she comes down, I think you're right. She'll see the wisdom of it. Of course, and I hope, of course, that she's not taken off the case. And then if we look here, the outcome card. I mean, one, this is often associated with Biden, but this is also the King of Cups here. This is also balanced emotions, intuition, creativity, and stuff like that. So it could be that this judgment eventually brings a more calm state. So we shall have to see on that one. Jen, can you believe it? The time has gone.
Oh, okay. It was wonderful. Yes.
Thank you. It goes in a flash. I know, folks. You'll be like, no, there's never enough time. But, we have to keep these things to an hour. Remember as well, I'm in the UK and you guys are on American time.
It's 5 o'clock here. So
yeah.
It's like what, midnight there or 11?
It's now 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. for me now. So I need to get myself to bed soon and stuff like that. Jen, it was a pleasure collaborating again.
Thank you.
Of course, we need to do this again in the future. Loved your insights and also as well the assistance from your guides. And I think what you had to say about Kate was spot on as well. It's been something I've been sensing for a while, but then you also as well look at the cards that I got as well with that, the D card in that position. So I think she's alive, but I really feel she's had a near-death experience here, which has changed her whole perspective, which is why it's a card of transformation after all. If you've enjoyed the show, folks, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Jen's details can be found in the video description below. She will be on next Soul Level podcast very soon. Who's the other person you're going to be podcasting with? I just forgot the name.
Jeff Mara, live Saturday night. And then I have my Just Politics show at 3 o'clock on Saturday, Mountain Time. But Jeff Mara on, I think at like 6 or 7.
Okay.
On Saturday night. He's live. I believe that we record on Next Level Soul. Is that right? And then they edit it and then it'll be released in probably a couple weeks from next Tuesday, if I want to be correct. Yeah, I
would imagine. He's got quite a few shows going on there. So maybe tuning, folks, before Hogarth on Saturday. Check out Jen. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you everyone for joining us. It was well over 600 of you joining us live, so we really appreciate that. And until the next time, for you guys, you will see me tomorrow on Thursday Fry Up, my Thursday Fry Up. So there'll be more kind of stuff there, but we will leave it there for now. Thanks so much, Jen, and for everyone for now, bye-bye. Mwah! Big love. All right.
Love you guys. Thank you, Hogarth. It was wonderful.
A pleasure. Bye-bye for now.